Who doesn't love a good musical? Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 animated movies that became musicals. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at animated features that were brought to life as stage musicals. Number 10. Tarzan. Like its source material, this Disney movie follows a human who's raised in the jungle by gorillas. When an explorer named Jane arrives on the island, Tarzan experiences the touch of another human hand for the first time, but is also introduced to the evils of the modern world. The film won an Academy Award for Best Original Song, which made it a prime candidate for a stage adaptation.
'Cause you'll be in my home. Yes, you'll be in my home.
Songwriter Phil Collins returned to work on the Broadway musical, which ran for over 486 performances.
I wanna know, can you show me? I wanna know about these strangers like.
While it didn't have the longest run compared to some of the other musicals on this list, Tarzan still holds a notable place in the history of Disney on Broadway. Number 9. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Based on the novel by French writer Victor Hugo, this story follows a deformed but kindly bell ringer named Quasimodo.
Just to live one day out there.
He's hidden away in the Cathedral of Notre Dame by the cruel and cold-hearted Frollo, but sees the beauty in the world through the compassion of a woman named Esmeralda. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is widely considered one of Disney's most underrated films, and its stage counterpart also sadly doesn't always get the credit it deserves.
Let it remain unknown, and my one human eye will evermore be dry until the day I die.
The musical premiered in Germany just 3 years after the release of the film, and featured music by Alan Menken. Despite being one of Berlin's longest-running productions, it has yet to make it to Broadway. Number 8. Finding Nemo. What's unique about this stage show is that the original animated movie wasn't a musical in the first place, unless you count Dory's Just Keep Swimming song.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
Nevertheless, Robert Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez did an incredible job taking a feature-length movie and condensing it down to a 40-minute stage musical. The story is of course about Nemo, a young clownfish who gets separated from his overprotective father. Marlin and Nemo must both learn that while the world is a big and scary place, it's also beautiful and full of potential friends. If you love the film, be sure to check out the musical at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Number 7. The Little Mermaid. The quintessential fish-out-of-water story, The Little Mermaid follows Ariel, a young mermaid princess who longs to walk on land like a human.
I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing.
Where the film marked the beginning of a new golden age for Disney animation, its stage adaptation came out on the heels of several other Disney theatrical productions. While it had a tragically short-lived run on Broadway, The Little Mermaid was a visually stunning stage show with a mix of old and new songs that still have our toes tapping. The show earned composers Alan Menken, Glenn Slater, and Howard Ashman Tony nominations. Plus, the original cast featured Titus Burgess as Sebastian the Crab. Number 6. Anastasia.
Once upon a December.
Directed by the legendary Don Bluth and Gary Goldman, Anastasia is about the young daughter of Tsar Nicholas II who escaped the evil Rasputin. In addition to established numbers like Once Upon a December, the stage version of this 1997 animated feature features 16 new songs, with music by Stephen Flaherty, and lyrics by Lynn Ahrens. The stage show notably takes a few liberties, taking out the movie's more fantastical elements and switching out Rasputin with a more grounded villain. From an adaptation standpoint, however, these changes ultimately work in the stage show's favor. Earning a Drama Desk nomination for Outstanding Musical, it's a wonderful journey to the past. Number 5. Shrek. The first film to win an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, Shrek revolves around a green ogre who lives in a swamp. His solitude is disturbed when exiled fairy tale creatures start showing up, leading him to rescue a princess in this fractured fairy tale. The original DreamWorks film largely parodied Disney animated classics, so it only made sense to follow Disney's example and head to Broadway.
My white knight, my knight and his steed would look just like these pictures. It won't be long now, I guarantee.
With music written by Janine Tesori, with lyrics by David Lindsay-Abaire, Shrek earned several Tony nominations, including one for Best Musical.
Things are looking up here into luck. Just take a look. The things I'm cooking up here into luck. He likes to cook.
If you didn't think ogres could do Broadway, this lively show will make you a believer.
And then I saw her face. I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. I saw her face.
Number 4. Frozen. Frozen follows the story of Anna and her sister Queen Elsa, who accidentally turns the land into a place of infinite winter. The film took the world by storm upon release, becoming the highest-grossing animated feature of all time.
For the first time in forever, I could be noticed by someone.
With hit songs like For the First Time in Forever and Let It Go, the latter of which won an Oscar and a Grammy, Frozen was born to be on Broadway.
The past is in the past.
So it didn't come as a surprise when songwriters Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez returned for a stage adaptation. In addition to winning the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Puppet Design, Frozen also scored 3 Tony nominations, including one for Best Musical. Number 3. Aladdin. Aladdin featured some of the most memorable musical numbers in the Disney canon, not to mention an amazing performance by Robin Williams.
Well, I feel sheepish.
It went on to become the highest-grossing film of 1992, but it took nearly 2 decades for a stage adaptation to hit Broadway. The show not only did its film counterpart justice, but also gave the creators a chance to revisit certain ideas that were omitted from the original movie. The Proud of Your Boy number, for example, was left on the cutting room floor, but found a second life here.
Water flows under the bridge, let it pass, let it go. There's no good reason that you should believe me, not yet.
James Monroe Iglehart also created a genie worthy of the character's legacy, winning a Tony for Best Featured Actor in a Musical.
Beauty and look at the stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the genie who has everything?
Number 2. Beauty and the Beast. This Disney movie revolves around Belle, who meets a monstrous creature in an enchanted castle. The Beast's only hope to lift the curse is through finding true love, and luckily for him, Belle sees his inner beauty. Just as Belle and the Beast fall in love, audiences fell in love with this film, which became the first animated feature to score a Best Picture Academy Award nomination. With sweeping musical numbers, audiences started to draw parallels between the film and a Broadway musical.
Horse by course, one by one, till you shout.
This made it a natural choice for Disney Theatrical's first venture. Like the film, the stage show was an enormous hit with audiences, running on Broadway for 13 years and grossing over $1 billion. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Who was the gladiator? Hercules. Whose down deeds of great theater? Hercules. Everything in the world to me.
Number 1. The Lion King. Considered by some to be the pinnacle of Disney animation in the 90s, The Lion King centers on young Simba as he takes his place in the circle of life. The Broadway version of this animated classic had some big shoes to fill, being a follow-up to Beauty and the Beast. Yet The Lion King surpassed its predecessor through the visionary direction of Julie Taymor. With Elton John, Tim Rice, and Hans Zimmer returning to work on the score, the stage musical dominated the Tonys, winning Best Musical. Today, The Lion King is not only considered one of the best stage musicals based on a movie, but one of the most enchanting stage musicals, period. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.